Welcome back. We're on part 2, and we're talking about the hot tags. Remember, we have 5 minutes to talk about the following topics and try to cram them in as much as possible. And if we run over, then, oh well, screw it. It's my show. We can do whatever we want. Starting right now, first off, I want to say thank you to Matthias Klaus for his donation on the website. If anybody doesn't know about that, I'm put a little PayPal thing up. If you want to help me get a better computer to put up better episodes of Smack Talk, go ahead and lend me $5 or whatever, whatever. Kind of like a Kickstarter thing, except for not official. So all the way from Hamburg, Germany. Thank you very much. And I want to mention that I am on Bleacher Report now. I just got accepted to their program, and you can check me probably about once a week. I'm going to post something on there. So I wanted to get those right out of the way and talk about how that leads into the first part here. Brian Gewirtz has been released from WWE Creative. They apparently want results, and he's not getting them. So this is going to be a huge shakeup, and there's a bunch of little topics here to talk about, but we're going to kind of hit it here and there. What do you guys think's going on with the Brian Gewirtz thing?
Oh, freaking finally. The only reason he was kept around because he was friends with the bloody Rock. As far as I'm concerned, good riddance to bad rubbish. He's around. He's around for consultancy. No, but he's literally the piece of shit that is responsible for, the WWE's current state.
Little People Court.
Yeah, all that, and every freaking segment with Hornswoggle becoming like the ultimate end to it. He was one of these guys. He had a few great ideas, and then ended up just destroying everything. There was even a chance where he was supposed to share when they had the brand extension. They were going to give someone else like producer credit on SmackDown. Gewirtz basically got in there and started bitching and moaning about it. Literally every writer that's come from the WWE and worked with the WWE has had an issue with Gewirtz, because the fact is Gewirtz has been protecting his spot and doing minimal effort. Gewirtz, fuck you.
Well, let's just hope who replaces him, this Triple H guy. That's all I've heard from him. I could see him doing the exact same job. I'm not sure if this is going to be really good. It could be really great, or it could be the same old shit. We don't know what this new head writer is going to be up to. I hope it's, going to be a significant change. I mean, after you hear all this stuff about like the big backstage blow up about how like talent saying the writing sucks, things need to change. This could be the beginning of something, or it could be just nothing at all.
Who do you guys think that was, by the way? I think it was Randy Orton.
Yeah, it seems like it's got to be a Punk thing. The first guy that popped into my head was Punk. That's something he would definitely say.
But you know what? I'm thinking that the reason that people haven't said already that it's Punk is that it isn't. I think that would have been a real quick thing. Like Punk backstage had an argument with Vince, and then that kind of worked into the promo. I think it had to be somebody else. Now, a lot of people are
Punk thing, he was pissed off that day anyway, and because of the whole fan incident, I wouldn't blame him if Vince confronted him about the fan incident and Punk just got back in his face and told him what
Punk.
for. Yeah,
if he doesn't like something, he's going to tell it straight up, whether they want to hear it or not.
Well, wasn't it supposed to have
who
happened?
He is.
Didn't it supposedly happen before or during the show, not at the end?
Yeah, well, even if Punk, I'm sure he's probably moody already. I mean, he seems to be always moody.
but do you blame him?
Yeah, I don't blame him at all. But
for anybody that doesn't know, Punk punched a fan in the crowd. There was a situation.
Punch a fan.
It looked more like
he more like backhanded elbow.
There was a backhand and like three knuckle, almost like a pie face with knuckles.
Yeah, it was sort of like high fiving his face, but
yeah,
but a fan
more violent.
Some fan pushed into Punk and apparently hit him in the kidneys or the ribs, or what was it? I think it was.
There was a group of them. There was literally three of them.
I think it was a few kidney shots.
Yeah, and Punk got confused and thought it was somebody else, and
he just struck for the first person behind him, pretty much.
Which, well, understandable. And this guy Dario Teyes, or Teyes, I don't know how to pronounce it.
Sunglasses man.
He claimed to be the real culprit, started bragging about not getting hit and all that kind of crap. But at the same time, there's complaints from a mother about Del Rio ripping up her son's sign and calling him a bully. Now, the thing that's stupid about that is CM Punk obviously should not lay his hands on any fans. unless.
No.
Let me get to it. He should never put his hands on any fans unless it's in a self-defense situation, which in that situation, I'm sure he thought that it was. I completely support that. When it comes to,
but he hit the wrong person.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
and also the fact is, right, the dude's sitting there crying bloody murder. He went to the police didn't give a fuck, right?
Time is
Because
up.
the fact is, he paid
Well,
to
his
go to a
$2
wrestling
sunglasses
show.
broke.
Yeah,
Remember
and he
that.
paid to go to a bloody wrestling show, right? And he's in the crowd. They're doing this whole sort of vignette in the crowd with Punk standing there looking over at McMahon and blah, blah, blah.
So did they
Uh,
need to get up out of their seats?
exactly.
Let's be honest.
And
Did they need to get
firstly,
up out of their seats?
security wasn't there. It was unguarded. They were looking for trouble, and this guy was looking for trouble. I don't really give a crap because half of his story doesn't make sense. First, Punk backhanded him in the face. Then he's got knee trouble because Punk apparently freaking hit him, in the knees with his.
I mean, that face shot was just so brutal. It went right down to his knee.
Do you know what I mean?
Thing
It
went from the
disabled
face
him.
all the way down. That brutal of a
So
shot.
now that the police aren't involved in the situation because they're basically saying the matter's closed because there is no situation, and apparently the fan says he doesn't want to press charges even though he went to the police. He's now trying to get a lawyer to sue the WWE for what?
I don't think he probably can't even afford a fucking lawyer anyway.
Well, see, when it comes down to it, though, you shouldn't hit the fans unless it's a self-defense kind of thing. Now,
and
that is a different.
Kind of was, but
right, but that is completely different than what happened with the Del Rio thing, where, okay, Del Rio rips your son's sign. He's a heel.
He's playing a character.
And now they apparently had Sheamus offered to not only meet the kid, but give him a signed picture and all this kind of stuff. So WWE did the heel thing with the heel, and they did the babyface thing with the babyface. She has no reason to complain. You bring a sign, and that's it. If you get ripped off, you're a part of the program.
The biggest thing that pisses me off about this is TNA, miss, I will sue the WWE because apparently they're stopping the company from making money by hiring their contracted talent because someone from TNA told them that, whose contracts were up at what time. She decides to give the mum a call, offer them tickets to the show to meet Hulk Hogan and all the other main event guys and all that bollocks, and states that they would never commit such a bad practice that the WWE committed. No, they would show someone in a sex tape instead, which Bubba Love Sponge is responsible for. And have some guy on the roster call someone an M-word and get beaten up by a woman. That's what Dixie Carter would do. And as far as I'm concerned, Dixie, if you can hear this, you're a fucking hypocrite. You're suing the WWE for what? Because they did the right thing and came to you when one of your employees was basically working for them and then decided to shoot his mouth off, saying he knows all this information. They tried to squash it, and then what do you do as soon as one little bit of bad press comes in? You decide to make it about TNA. You are a freaking hypocrite. And as far as I'm concerned, you need to burn, right?
Burning the hot tags out. We're completely out of time. We went over the 5-minute time limit a while ago. We're going to throw a couple of things in there when we about the Kofi Kingston and R-Truth split and Ryback's new nickname when we talk about the predictions for next week.
We also need to talk about the
provider. Next part, we're going to talk about the next tournament, the best WWE champion of all time, and then we'll get into the pay-per-view predictions for TNA.